Welcome to my channel. This is Too Cute for Cancer and my name is Jody and I have a special guest for you today. I'm so excited. Now, as many of you know, that May was Mental Health Month and we were to shine a light on mental health during May. But you know me, I'm always behind the times. I'm so sorry about that. But you know what? This is even better because we can take longer doing what we want to do. I have Diana here and I'm gonna let her, well, first I'm gonna introduce her. We have been friends for the last 20, I think we said 23 years?
Yeah.
Right. And I met her 23 years ago. I was a interpreter coordinator for Fontana, and we met, we clicked, we started hanging out. Well, then we went our different ways and we met back up again later on interpreting for VRS. And then we unfortunately bonded. I don't recommend this, but thank God that I have her. When my son Michael died, she was going through, well, later on, she lost her daughter, and so we bonded through that. So we have a very strong history. And not only is she an interpreter, she is a, drum roll please, a mental health worker. And I'm gonna turn it over to her for now.
Well, just like Jody said, we are introducing May as Mental Health Awareness Month, but at the same time, even though it's come to an end, that doesn't mean that we need to stop talking about it. This is something that we can discuss year-round, and mental health is here. It is here, and we are here to bring you awareness. So I thank Jody for bringing me on so we can actually talk about this and the impact that it might have on your viewers.
Yeah. So have any of you guys felt like when you went into the doctor's office, for example, you get that diagnosis and they start shoving you all these pamphlets and stuff, and you're looking through them and there's one little pamphlet in there that says, go to, you know, mine was breastcancer.org. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then you can kind of read up on your own disease and, you know, find your own support, I guess. I don't know. I guess that was really their way of offering me support. But really, they offered me, you know, go to the surgeon, go to the oncologist, go to the hematologist, blah, 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 blah. But they really didn't give me anything for my emotional, my mental well-being. And then you're sent home with all of this stuff coming at you, and it causes a lot. And sometimes you're so busy dealing with the physical aspect, you forget to deal with the emotional aspect of it. So, and that doesn't have to be just cancer. That can be anything. That can be the death of a loved one. That can be a loss of a job. That can be, you know, just fill in the blanks. So that's why we're here today, and we are going to figure out some whys and hows, and we're not going to, don't worry about it. We're not going to just do 20 minutes and then boom, boom, we're gone. We're going to do a whole series. So if you don't hear what you asked for in this today's just an intro, astounding, like a jumping off point. Don't worry about it. Stay tuned for the next one.
Right. So as Jody was saying, we were discussing about the fact that you get this diagnoses, you get told that you have something going on physically, and the resources out there as far as what you get sent to is 0 to none, I would say.
Yeah, I mean some
really.
places, if you're at a cancer center, then you might get a little bit more, but pretty much nothing.
Right. And so when you get this diagnosis, you're in a very vulnerable state. Like, you don't know what's going on. And the changes of your day-to-day life have been turned upside down. How is that not going to impact you mentally? And you are left to, well, no, I would say you are forced.
Yeah,
to kind of face the reality and the unpredictability of life now. Mm-hmm. And those kind of things, yes, will impact you mentally. However, there's confusion, there's fear, there's doubt, there's anxiety. And who do you have to talk to about that when you go to your next doctor appointment and you face your next treatment? Those kind of things are what the mental health providers are here for. We can walk you through those things. We can help you find coping skills, ways to manage, ways to live that life when you go into your next appointment. What we were talking about earlier was that the fact that you're getting this diagnosis, the loss of a loved one, PTSD due to trauma experience, all that is grief. And you are experiencing a really deep sorrow, grief. And how do you deal with that? And how are you able to manage it? So I'm very excited that Jody has brought us on so we can talk about this and give you a series of all this information. You have great questions that you have asked and brought upon for us to discuss and go into it a little bit deeper. So we ask that you be patient with us and you stick around with Too Cute for Cancer, because that's what we're doing here. And I really appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, and you know what, you guys, just to kind of piggyback on what she was saying, how you go into the doctor's office and you get all your diagnoses and everything, and then you go home, and for me, I was like just like overwhelmed, and I'm thinking the first person that I wanted to speak to was my husband. But what? He's going through the same thing I am going through. A lot of times our spouses, our partners, our loved ones are going through the same, maybe not at the same extent as we are going through, but they are going through a loss. Their anxiety, they're going through grief the same way we are. And then on top of that, they're trying to support us and try to keep everything peaceful and happy so you can heal. You know, so this is not only for the person themselves that are going through something, this is also for you partners out there, you husbands, your wives out there that are dealing with a loved one or maybe a sister. You know, it doesn't have to just be you. That's my point.
Exactly. And with that being said, there's also a ideal that the person, your partner or whomever that person is, that they have to be stronger. They have to be the stronger person to be there for you to deal with what you're experiencing, but that it does not have to be that way. Communication is very important. Sometimes you might contact a friend, but the friend hasn't experienced what you are experiencing, so they don't know how to really be there for you. Those are the things that a mental health provider can actually help you with. And yes, as they say, you know, when you have children, they say it takes a village. Well, I think it always takes a village for anything that you're going through. Yes, exactly. So it always takes a village. And sometimes when I have families that come to me for support, I actually thank them. Like, thank you for making me part of that village for you. Because just because I'm a mental health provider doesn't mean that I'm susceptible to having something happen to me. I've experienced, like Jody said, the loss of a child. I've had a tumor that's been removed, divorce, betrayal. Things like that have been part of my life, and I'm human. And just because I do have the experience, the background to be a mental health provider, that doesn't mean that I cannot be there and support you in this process.
I think that's really important to note is sometimes you go to someone who you feel really connected with and you feel like, I really trust this person, but you know what? They don't have the expertise, they don't have the experience. And a lot of times I leave, at least myself, I have left worse than I started out because they not only, I went to them feeling like I was going to get some relief, I went to them and they just piled all of their experience on top of me, and it didn't go, you know, the way I thought it was going to go. So I think that by going to someone who knows what they're talking about, who is trained in this, is so important, you guys. You can watch my channel and you can get some ideas and go live through my experiences and ask me questions. But when it comes straight down to it, you know what? I don't know you. You don't know me on a one-to-one basis, and I'm not a mental health professional. So what we're trying to do here is introduce you to some. So I am going to end right here. Thank you so much, Diana, for being with me today, and stay tuned because next week we are going to be talking about I don't know. But
We'll let you know.
we'll let you know. So, part 2 of Mental Health Awareness Day.
Stay tuned.